Hi, this is Pastor Steve with a word of encouragement. How is it with your soul? Now that's a good old Methodist question that's been around since the 18th century. It was a question that John Wesley had his class leaders ask when they began each one of the class meetings. The class meetings were gatherings of 8 to 10, maybe 12 persons who met to discuss their faith and learn to grow in their walk with God. And at the beginning of each session, the class leader would ask the question, how is it with your soul? Now see, John Wesley understood something that maybe we forget about sometimes. All the things that are happening around us on the outside can often affect how things are happening for us on the inside. And just as true, how we are on the inside can reflect itself and be demonstrated through what we say and do and how we act on the outside. So how is it with your soul is a good question to ask during this pandemic. Being sequestered in isolation is a tough thing. Reading what we read about the economy, the things happening in the newspaper, the statistics we see each night in the news forecasts. Again, it's tough to hear. There are things to be anxious and worried about, and those things affect us on the inside. Things on the outside affecting us on the inside. But God has something more for His people. He wants it to be well with our souls. And so He seeks to give us hope and peace and joy, things that transcend what's happening around us as we walk with Him. Paul talks about this in his letter to the church of Philippi. Paul wrote the letter of Philippians as we know it while he was sequestered, while he was in isolation, not because of the coronavirus, because he was in prison. In prison because of trying to spread the good news about Jesus Christ and God's love for us all. In prison, he wrote these words from chapter 4, words I think of encouragement for us today. We start in verse 4 and read, "Rejoice in the Lord always. And again I say rejoice." Rejoice is a healthy soul word. When things are right within, we can know joy. Again, not because everything's happening that we like, but because joy transcends our circumstances, as do things like hope and peace. He says, "Let your gentleness be known to all. The Lord is near." Gentleness reflects a soul at ease. It reflects someone who has a peace within them so they can be gentle with others around them. When things are disquieted within us, it's often not easy to be gentle. In fact, we often use harsh words. We're snappy or impatient. We grumble or complain. We get angry or frustrated. And again, others see that or suffer from that being around us. He reminds us that the Lord is near. Now, Lord being near may have spoken of the fact he believed that Christ might come back very soon, but also it speaks to the fact that he knew that God is near. The Lord is always near us. He's with us always. We're never alone or separated. Christ with us, the hope of glory, Paul wrote. Again, our hope is in Christ. And because Christ is near, it can be well with our souls. Do not be anxious in anything, but with prayers and petition in everything, with thanksgiving, present your request to God. Again, let's talk to God about what's happening. Don't keep it all on the inside, anxiety, worries, or fears. Talk to God about it. Let Him know what's on your hearts. Ask petitions. Request God to give you strength or give you help, to send someone to encourage you, to open your eyes to what's happening around you to be thankful for. He says to do this with thanksgiving. I think that word thanksgiving is a very powerful word for our souls, because thanksgiving always lifts our eyes between just what we see to the little rays of light that shine of God's presence, of reminders that God is with us, to the joy of spending time playing a game with our children, a walk around the neighborhood and seeing the beautiful flowers or feeling the cool breeze, having a roof over our heads, a soft pillow at night, a good book to read, and again, someone we can talk to, whether it's a friend on a phone or text message, or of course to the Lord in prayer. He says if you do this, he says the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and minds in Christ Jesus. See, again, a peace that passes understanding means it's more than something in our head. It's something in our souls. It's something taking place within us, God's peace. I think of the great song so often sung in times like this. I sing because I'm happy, I sing because I'm free, for his eye is on the sparrow, and I know he watches me. The Lord is near, I can talk to him. I have someone to be thankful to. There is peace available to me. I can rejoice. Those are signs of a healthy soul. So I ask you today, how is it with your soul? And if things aren't quite right, why don't you talk to the one who can change your heart and bless your soul and loves you so much? For the Lord is near, this day and always. This is an encouraging word from Pastor Steve.